Imagine a place where adorable, sleepy-eyed koalas live peacefully among the eucalyptus trees. But what if I told you that hundreds of these beloved animals were recently shot from helicopters in Australia? Yes, you heard that right. Over 700 koalas were put to death from the sky. But why? What led to this shocking decision? In this video, we'll uncover the truth behind this tragedy and explore the difficult choices facing wildlife conservation today. Our story begins in Budj Bim National Park, located in the state of Victoria, Australia. In early 2025, a devastating wildfire swept through this protected area, destroying over 2,200 hectares of lush forest, including the eucalyptus trees that are a lifeline for koalas. Many koalas suffered from severe burns, smoke inhalation, and starvation. But as their habitat turned to ashes, their suffering didn't end. State authorities, faced with the challenge of helping the injured and starving koalas, made a drastic decision. From helicopters, they began what they called a humane culling, shooting over 700 koalas to end their suffering. Officials claimed that the steep terrain, fallen trees, and dense forest made it impossible for rescue teams to reach the animals. So, they argued that euthanasia from the sky was the most humane option. But was it really the right choice? Couldn't there have been another way? Not surprisingly, this decision sparked a wave of controversy. State authorities defended their actions, insisting that aerial euthanasia was the only humane solution. They claimed that the koalas were suffering from severe injuries, starvation, and dehydration, and that ground rescue was simply too dangerous. But animal welfare groups strongly disagreed. Critics argued that some of the koalas were still healthy and could have been rescued. They pointed out that orphaned baby koalas, known as joeys, were left to die without their mothers. Others questioned why the state didn't invest in better rescue efforts or work with local animal organizations to save these iconic creatures. Social media was flooded with outrage. Images of lifeless koalas on the forest floor quickly went viral, leading to protests and international condemnation. So, was this a necessary evil? Or was it a failure of responsibility, a sign of poor planning and neglect? What do you think? Was this truly the most humane option for the koalas? But this tragic event didn't happen in isolation. In reality, it is part of a much larger problem, the ongoing destruction of koala habitats across Australia. As urban development expands, forests are cleared for agriculture, housing, and industry. Koalas are left with smaller and more fragmented habitats, forcing them to compete for limited food and shelter. Even in protected areas like Budj Bim, koalas face another challenge: overpopulation. With too many koalas living in one area, food becomes scarce, and disease spreads rapidly. Overcrowding leads to starvation, stress, and the rapid spread of deadly illnesses like chlamydia. In fact, Victoria is one of the few regions in Australia where koala populations are not declining, but rather growing too quickly for the available habitat. The tragic mass euthanasia was not just a reaction to the wildfire. It was the result of long-standing issues, habitat loss, poor population management, and a failure to protect these animals before disaster struck. So, is it really enough to blame the wildfire or the aerial culling? Or should we take a closer look at how we manage and protect these precious animals in the first place? So, what can be done to prevent another tragedy like this? Experts say that the key is better habitat management. Expanding protected areas for koalas and ensuring that these areas are properly maintained is essential. Rescue organizations need more support, with trained teams ready to respond to emergencies, not just during wildfires, but year-round. Efforts must also be made to control koala populations in areas where they have become overcrowded, using humane methods such as relocation, habitat expansion, and even fertility control programs. But there is another question. What can we do, as individuals? We can support conservation organizations working to protect koalas. We can raise awareness about the dangers they face and demand stronger environmental policies from our governments. Koalas are more than just a symbol of Australia. They are a reminder of the delicate balance between humans and nature, a balance that can easily tip, with devastating consequences. Will we learn from this tragedy, or will history repeat itself? If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you love learning about the hidden stories behind the world's most incredible animals, make sure to subscribe to Factopedia. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Together, let's keep exploring, understanding, and protecting our world.
Don't forget to subscribe Factopedia.